Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about cholesterol, and again, we know that 60% population have high cholesterol levels, and we have actually discussed this a year back, and it was a long discussion. I would like to briefly talk about the entire mechanism behind cholesterol metabolism, right? And where we are going wrong, why just tracking LDL, HDL is not the right way, right? So again, understand the basics of cholesterol. Cholesterol is an important molecule which our body needs, right? So it's a precursor for various steroid hormones, right? It is used for the production of bile acid for vitamin D, right? So that it is required for brain function. It is required for cell functioning. There's a lot of important role cholesterol has, right? And still we think cholesterol is bad. We go for statins and other drugs which suppress our cholesterol. When we suppress our cholesterol, it also suppresses a coenzyme which is required for regulating ATP cycle. So people who have high cholesterol levels or who are on statins also have issues like fatigue, right? So it's you don't understand in basic layman language. It is an input versus output, right? So there are two sources of influx of cholesterol inside our body. One is obviously the diet, right? So a lot of animal diet of animal origin, right? Like chicken, eggs, and a lot of these foods which do increase your cholesterol levels. And again, other is synthesis of cholesterol inside the body, which is generally done by liver and small intestine, right? And 75% of this, right, 60 to 75% of this is actually produced inside our body. Only one fourth, one third to one fourth of it comes from the food we eat, right? So essentially blaming food, or reading articles about saying do not eat egg, do not eat fish, do not eat chicken, it will increase your cholesterol level. Even if the doctors are saying it is just one way to look at it. It in 90% of cases it is not right way of regulating your cholesterol. So what happens exactly inside the body, right? So a lot of this cholesterol is actually synthesized by our liver and small intestine, right? So liver actually packages this with triglycerides, which is fat, and VLDL, it is very low density lipoprotein, right? And it actually travels in the bloodstream to various peripheral tissues, which is required for where it is required for cell functioning. And you know from there, so during this process, VLDL is converted to LDL. What we know is bad cholesterol to a process, and this LDL actually is actually goes to it carries your cholesterol. It goes to your peripheral tissues where it is required for cell functioning, right? And from cell, it is actually transported back to liver during this transport process. So LDL, if it is expressing rightly express a gene which encodes for a protein, it during this transport process, what we call is reverse cholesterol transport process, right? It gets converted into HDL, where it goes to liver, and where it is used to produce bile acid to synthesize vitamin D, right? Uh, Involved in various production of various steroid hormones, sex hormones, right? So this is so again, this is how input output works. So input is obviously food, and the biosynthesis of de novo synthesis of cholesterol inside your body, right? Again, through reverse cholesterol transport process, the LDL, which is actually converted into HDL, which is again used for production of bile acid for vitamin D and sex hormones and a lot of these things, right? So again, the what matters is the balance, right? Input versus output. So if you are consuming a lot of cholesterol, if your body is producing, or if it's not being put to use, if you it is not being converted to bile acid, right? Or if it's not been, converted to vitamin D, right? So there's a lot of there's dysregulation of various biological functions which can increase the level of excess, which can lead to excess cholesterol. Again, one important factor which we have missed out is our gut microbiome, which actually converts this excess cholesterol into another non-absorbable microbial derivative, which is called corpustinol, right? This again is this excess cholesterol is converted into this derivative, and which actually is excreted through feces, right? So gut microbiome do have a role to play in regulating your cholesterol metabolism, right? You know, it's not always about food. First thing, it's not always the excess cholesterol, even if you're taking through food, if your gut microbiome is balanced, right, it can actually, or it is promoting beneficial optimal functions, it can actually convert this excess cholesterol to cholesterol, and which can excrete through feces, and then it's balanced out. Second important thing is important to consider the reverse transport cholesterol mechanism, right? Which again is an important in process of conversion, from LDL to HDL, and we call it HDL is a good cholesterol and LDL is a bad cholesterol, right? Again, a lot of the entire mechanism of this reverse cholesterol transport process is linked with, you know, uh, actually five microbial derived metabolites, which impact the regulation of this uh, RCT, reverse cholesterol transport process. One is, let's talk about. So we know all that, there's a lot of these metabolites released by our microbiome when we ingest the food and they metabolize these foods into these byproducts. These byproducts can be good and bad, and it is these microbial derived metabolites. It's what gives us health and disease. Similarly, in case of cholesterol, right? Endotoxin called lipopolysaccharides, which actually increase your VLD and LDL production. It imbalance the LDL and HDL, right? It suppresses your reverse cholesterol transport process, and it can actually increases your excess, which can impact it can impact your cholesterol metabolism, right? Second thing is TMAO, right? Again, trimethylmalonyl oxide, which is again a byproduct of uh, choline and L-carnitine, right? And this actually TMA is released by our microbiome. It goes into the liver, and then when it comes into TMAO, right? And this TMAO is what suppresses again reverse cholesterol transport process, again lead to higher LDL and lower HDL, which increases your risk of uh, heart disease, right? Third thing is short chain fatty acids, such as bitrate. Bitrate actually is something is in microbial metabolism, a byproduct of the microbial metabolism of various fiber and inulin and resistant starch and a lot of these things, right? And which is really beneficial for our health. It helps in regulating blood sugar level, helps in improving satiety, right? It helps in strengthening your gut lining, right? A lot of even in cancer situation, biotech is really important. But uh, this particular metabolite actually regulates the RCT, reverse cholesterol transport mechanism. It can make sure that there's a right expression of the genes of LDL, which encodes and which gets converted into HDL, right? And that is something really important, right? Uh, uh, Fourth, and to another aspect, which is again linked with your consumption of tryptophan, right? Again, tryptophan is one of the essential amino acid, right? And it 10% of it gets converted in indole. There are indole pathways like indole propionic acid, which we know that it also plays a role in regulating our blood sugar response, which we have actually included in our diabetes prediction model also. So IPA actually again regulates this reverse cholesterol transport mechanism process, which makes sure that everything is going fine, your cholesterol metabolism fine, there's a balance in LDL and HDL. Other is indoxyl sulfate. Again, indoxyl sulfate dysregulates this RCT process, and it actually leads to higher LDL level, right? Again, it imbalances your cholesterol influx and outflux, right? Efflux, influx and efflux, right? So this is really important. Only understanding going for these foods or going for when doctors saying, uh, have less of high protein diets or less of chicken and vegan. This is all wrong bullshit, right? It has nothing to do with multiple biological processes happening inside the body. So fix your microbiome, you know, understand the activities and function of the microbiome, what genes are they expressing, whether they are underexpressing, overexpressing, how this is leading to production of various metabolites and pathways, which can actually trigger or disrupt the RCT process, or probably if you don't have the right set of microbes active, which can actually convert excess cholesterol into corpuscle. So probably, uh, this can actually lead to high level of cholesterol, which can have an high implication on your heart health, right? So these are the few important things you should consider, right? And I know this is what we discussed last year also about this, but just kept a brief of, in a very layman language so that you understand, the falling for these fad diets, or falling for these wrong articles, or what doctor is saying in terms of the consumption of low egg or low fish or low chicken is not the solution for excess cholesterol. Right? That's it today. Have a good day. Thank you very much.